Academics might be worse than a coworker that goes in the refrigerator and eats your lunch, even though you got your name on the damn bag.
It's a young samurai, I smoke a spliff in the cut, and I pass a line to my bro. No fuck with my flow. Couple bad bitches and a cup of that tro. So it's just THC.
BBN, Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Hey, before the video we will continue, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. Alright, so yeah, this is the funny part about all of this to me, right? So a couple months ago, when the Migos thing was initially going on, and I think right before or right after the Migos thing was going on, Charlamagne the God went and he was a guest on Everyday Struggle. And after he was a guest on Everyday Struggle, I had put out a couple of videos. I think it was after, I put out a couple of videos about how Everyday Struggle just cannot last. And I didn't think that it was going to last for specific reasons. And I was like, yo, you know what? They're kind of messing up DJ Akademiks' name. They're making him look bad. What he needs to do is he needs to get off of that platform and basically, get out of there and create his own thing, because he has like 1 million followers. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you joining some big conglomerate ass dudes? You got all of these, your own followers. Just to break this down real quick, I'm going to explain to you once more, because on this channel, we talk a lot about, whenever we talk about music, I try to let people understand there's a difference between an artist that's signed by a label and an artist that he's unsigned. So basically, when you're signed, what they do is they give you a whole bunch of upfront money to do whatever that you need to do to get the album produced and to live. And then off of the top, when you start actually producing money, the label gets their money back. You understand what I'm saying? Off of the top, before you even get paid, the label got to get all of their money back first. That's the way that it works. The reason why people get with these big labels is because they might want to have the opportunity to produce better music or to reach a wider audience and to have that push. So that's the reason why you would want to get signed. But if you already have that push, if you already have your platform, if you're already standing off to the side and you have your whole little cult following, you don't need to sign a deal. This is basically Akademiks' situation. Akademiks has his own thing going on. He did not need to sign with Complex. Signing with Complex didn't give him as much as if he would have heard the idea and said, you know what? I can do this on my own. I can go get somebody and somebody else to sit around in a room and talk about hip hop. This isn't but so hard to produce. And in the beginning, it's going to be slow running, and then obviously we're going to pick up more, and then we'll be able to do different things. Akademiks could have did all of this on his own. You understand what I'm saying? So my position was he didn't need to match with Complex. Well, now that I know a little bit more about how Akademiks do business, absolutely he needed Complex as much or more than they needed him. And I'm going to explain why. So Joe Buttons get into the fallout with Complex. Complex tells Joe Buttons he has to leave, because Joe Buttons decides that right now, this is just my opinion. This part is my opinion. I think that what happened with Joe Buttons and Complex basically was Joe Buttons saying he needs more money, and Complex saying we're not giving you more money. So he's saying, well, I'm not doing that then. And so they said, all right, peace. That's basically what it sounds like Joe Buttons was saying happened, basically. So, just make it quick. So right then and there, this to go to show you that some people, they don't understand how business works. You understand what I'm saying? Right then and there, freaking this dude, Akademiks, he decided to be Brainy Smurf. Whatever, Papa Smurf. Really, that's what he decided to be. Brainy Smurf. Just going along with whatever Complex is talking about. Instead of standing with because there's no way you can get rid of Joe Buttons and get rid of Academics and still have the same show. You literally have to change the name of the show, even if Nadeska stays. But if they don't work together to get a bigger check, then that's better for Complex. But if they work together and they're like, yo, look, this is what we're gonna do, and that's what we're gonna do, and I'm not working without that dude. If he's out, I'm out. If she's out, I'm out. Everybody's bouncing. They're gonna have to change the whole show, and then all of that goodwill that they worked up for all of those months is right out of the door. You can't bring back the show without the starting people unless they hand the mantle off. You understand what I'm saying? You can't fire them and then just hire new people because it just don't work that way. The fans of the show are going to leave in droves. And that's basically what happened when Joe left. These guys went down something like 600,000 subs in the matter of 24 hours. So Complex and Verizon, they have created their own bad situation for themselves. But my point and my position on this is Akademiks has hurt his brand. Okay, so one, we know Akademiks, he doesn't stand with his partners. And just to go to show you the proof that I know what I'm talking about, you go look at when the TV show Friends, they were in contract dispute, right? Remember? They stuck together. The next thing you know, they all get $1 million an episode. Remember Seinfeld, they was in a contract dispute. They stuck together. I'm not even sure what they got. But that was a better show than Friends. I never understood that show. Neither one of those shows I think ever had black people on it. So that wasn't shows I really cared to watch. But Friends, they got $1 million a piece. Something like that. Some retarded number. You shoot 26 episodes. If they shooting 26 episodes, they getting $1 million a piece per episode. You shoot, so they getting $1 million a week. 26 weeks of work. Because it takes a week to shoot an episode. For everybody that don't know. Anyway. So, your man, your homeboy, Akademiks, he doesn't do what you're supposed to do. See, this is where it comes from. Like a lot of people that's from like single, a lot of people that's like and this is not a knock. This is not a knock because this is stuff that we got to teach our kids. We got to teach our kids to stick together. Like we got to teach our kids, like especially if you got 2 or 3 kids, you got to teach them that they supposed to stick with their brothers and their sisters. You know, that because you got to train them to be loyal. You understand what I'm saying? You got to train them to be loyal, especially to the people who they have common interests with. If you don't train your kid to be this, it's just like a lot of pardon me, and this is not a knock on nobody. I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody at all. But when you have parents that only have one child and that child doesn't grow up with like really close friends or anything like that, they don't get trained to do stuff like if he don't work, I don't work. They don't get trained to do that. When you have a couple of kids and you constantly turning one kid on the other kid, when they become adults, they're not going to be friends. Like they're not gonna be friends. Like they might still be around each other, but they're not gonna have any type of unity. There's not gonna be. You can't turn your kids against each other because they turn out like this. Now, what he was supposed to do was he was supposed to stick with Joe. Nadeska also was supposed to go stick with Joe. But what they decided to do was, and this is probably stuff that's been stirring around that we don't know about. This is probably stuff we don't know about, but this is probably stuff that's been stirring around already. It been looked to me like Akademiks, I'm not going to say he didn't want Joe on the show, but I don't like the way that he always sides with these people that he don't know. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, well, I like that person's music. You don't like that person's music. I like the person's music. But it's another thing to say, oh, treat the person who you really don't know, you just like their music, like they're a good person. You don't know them. You know Joe. You understand what I'm saying? So, okay, you might not think Joe's a good person, but that doesn't mean that the other individual is a better person than Joe. You actually know Joe. You don't know the other person. You just listen to their music. Probably text back and forth with them over IG or something a couple of times. What do I know? But you don't know them. You understand what I'm saying? That's my point. So anyway, right now it looks like, oh man, and he was crying on Twitch. I don't know. I don't think it was crying, but he was whining. And you know, if you're whining, that's what people are saying you're doing. You're crying. So he doesn't get it. You know what I'm saying? But um everyday struggle is all but finished at this point. The only way that everyday struggle can save itself is to bring Joe back. But if I was Joe, I wouldn't come back. I would absolutely not come back. Joe knows for a fact 600,000 people unsubscribed from Complex after Joe was announced as not returning, right? So basically, Joe has 600,000, a minimum of 600,000 people right now waiting for his next show to pop up. How many people still subscribe to Complex? It's because if less than 600,000 people is subscribed to Complex currently, imagine how many people that watch Complex other shows now isn't even going to watch the other shows because they don't like how they dealt with him. You understand what I'm saying? The numbers, how it's hurt? Because you got to understand, right now, Complex don't care about the numbers as far as how much money they're making off of views. What they care about is the advertisement dollars that they're making. You understand what I'm saying? By having the host wear certain clothes, by having certain artists come to their show. You understand what I'm saying? By having like stuff up in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like the advertisements dollars. That's what they're caring about. They're not caring so much about, you know, how many, you know, that's what the views is going to bring them. That's what they're caring about. So you got to think about it like that. Like sometimes people don't, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to think about it like that. Anyway, what do y'all guys think about this? I think DJ Ak hurt his brand, in my opinion. I think, like I said before in my other video, Ak needed to leave. If he leaves first, this isn't an issue. You understand what I'm saying? I think that he just does not know how to play politics. He doesn't understand how these things work, and he might not have enough. He might have too much hubris. He might have a little bit too much arrogance in order to be able to learn and navigate those minefields that's the business world. That might be the issue currently. I mean, I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you from what I see from the outside. I could be 100% wrong. You know what I'm saying? But from what I see from the outside, the way that he's going to Twitch, certain things that, and I saw this before, certain things that he's divulging on Twitch that he shouldn't necessarily, he had the one he had the one outspoken time where they was talking about him on Everyday Struggle, and he had a little blow up, and you know, it is what it is. But I didn't take that as nothing. You know, he doesn't have enough of those. He doesn't have enough of those. And I think that I think he's absolutely wrong whenever he talks about these mumble rappers. Those dudes is like only one out of like every 80 is good. So I mean, I don't know what he's talking about half of the time. But they lost the person that brung some kind of like real, you know, understanding of the hip hop game when they decided to let this man go. And I think that hurt the entirety of the Complex brand, the whole entire brand. And it gave Joe a boost because, not for nothing, that shows his integrity. And so that means that wherever he goes next, whether he does his own thing, whether somebody hire him, whatever the case might be, wherever he goes next, he's bringing that integrity with him. So he's going to probably have a much bigger paycheck than the one that he was asking for that Complex denied. Anyway, that's all I got on this. I want to know what y'all guys think about this. All right? So like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. Yo, look, I don't know what this dude is thinking about. I don't understand. You got to stick with your coworkers. You got to stick with your family. You got to stick with the people who you got there with. You understand what I'm saying? That's just how it works. And unless they turning their back on you and they shitting on you, you got to stick with them. You understand what I'm saying? Stick with the people who got you there. And as far as I know, it was Joe's show. He act to come on it with him. So yeah, act played itself. And I think this is the type of shit Charlemagne was waiting for. Because Charlemagne and freaking Joe Buttons do a show. freaking complex need to just get out of the business of, everyday struggle. That's all I got on this one. I'm out. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.